Testing, mic 1, 2, testing, testing. Hear the echo. The Twitch, his Twitch seems to be a little bit reaction. His Twitch seems to be a little bit reaction. His Twitch seems to be a little bit reaction. His Twitch. Alright. I think we'll just have to ask when somebody comes in. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get going. If you're here, welcome. And if you were watching the Instagram, I'm going to be building a Python class. And then I think we're going to build a FastAPI server from that Python class and save it to GitHub. I think that's going to be a really easy thing to get accomplished and provide a lot of value to newcomers that are coming to the channel. Let's go ahead and get started. Give me a couple seconds just to get things set up. Make sure. I think we have the chat going too. I'm gonna test the chat, get going. Let me drop a Discord in there for anybody that's would like to join up and get some questions answered. Whoa. All right. Chat is working. Probably want to get the stream element also geared up just in case we need to change anything on the fly. And I think we can stuff cleared up. Okay, all right. I want to go to the stream manager, and I want to edit the layout, get rid of this, that, not the chat, but I have the chat over here. That looks good. I'm going to move the chat over here because it's actually going to be in my eyeline then. Put that terminal shell there. Alright, let's get going. Alright. Cool. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our terminal. You don't have to do this, but it's a good habit to get to do. The reasoning is because you want to get acclimated with navigating your file system from the terminal, because that's how you're going to access most servers online. And so the best representation of that is having like a Windows terminal like this. If you don't have WSL installed, I would highly recommend using something like, man, I just gotta get another web browser up. And I can't believe we're using Google Chrome, but we are. Much easier for me right now because I'm much more familiar with it than Brave at the moment, but we will get better at that. But if you don't have WSL installed or Windows Terminal, don't worry. Don't use PowerShell. Don't use command line, the regular CMD. You want to use Git Bash. And just type in Google that and then go to this one right here that says downloads. And then download this for if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, you shouldn't have much of an issue, but Stream's not going to help you much because I'm on Windows. Give me one moment. I'm going to change some of this taskbar behavior. This is a very annoying behavior that always seems to... There we go. Hide the taskbars. Cool. Okay, so now after you've downloaded Git Bash, you should be able to open it up and you should have something similar to this. And what you're going to want to do is it's most likely going to open up to something like this. You're going to have a little, they call it a tilde line. And it means that you're at the home directory for this user here. Hey man, thanks. Drop in the Discord or Linux. Yeah, or Linux. You could just use Linux too. But I'm expecting that most people are going to come to this stream and going to be using Windows. So, and I expect they're going to be much more newcomers than probably someone like yourself, Unk Skunk. And so I'm expecting that they're going to hit hurdles if they start trying to go get WSL installed and then try to configure Windows Terminal. So what I want to do is I want to prefix this by your stuff might look different, but as long as it accomplishes the same task. Is that a good enough disclaimer? Thank you, much appreciated. All right, but anybody join the stream, it's going to look more or less like this. So the first step is you're going to want to create a folder that you're going to want to put your project in. And everything on your file system at a very basic level you can think of as files and folders. You're going to have folders and you're going to put files in those folders, and those folders should probably have the makeup of some type of application. So we're going to call this our Twitch app. We're going to so if you're running Git Bash, the command should be basically the same. I haven't ran Git Bash in a few years, so don't hold me to that. But this one, you can just think of saying this in your head as make directory. Probably what that stands for, but I haven't actually looked it up. If you ever get lost along the way and you need to help to figure out what that command actually does, you can do -- help on basically any of these command lines, and it will provide you a list of instructions for utilizing that tool. But makedir is a very common one, and then we're going to call this our Twitch project. And the other one is called the change directory, I believe. And so you can type CD, and then we're going to switch into that. Perfect. So also the expectation is if you're coming to the stream, you're most likely at least familiar with a code editor. I would expect most of you would be coming here through VS Code. And thanks for the follow, Uncle Skunk. I appreciate it. I've just got all the alerts configured, so that's probably, I think there were some good ones on the last stream, but I was kind of ending to when people came in, so I appreciate you joining. But like I was saying, we are going to create file. I'm expecting that you're at least familiar with your IDE, and so hopefully you have VS Code or Cursor installed. We're going to be using Cursor. It's much more common, I think, but I believe VS Code is more or less catching up with regards to features. I haven't used it lately, but I will probably soon, and probably do it on stream, so that would be pretty cool. But now that we've created this directory, we're going to open this as our workspace that we're going to be building our application inside of. If you're using VS Code, you can just type code space dot, or if you're using Cursor, you may have to do some configuring in order to get the path correct, but we're not going to do that on the stream. But all I'm expecting is that you're able to get code editor open and the folder, the intended folder. And so we're going to open this, and there's some benefits to actually having the folder scoped this way when you're with your project. More or less when it comes to debugging, it's a lot easier for it to understand your file structure. So if you get into a spot, probably if you're newer and don't want to start fussing with the editor, just open up another code editor in another file folder. So to get this up, I actually hit Control and then the tilde right underneath the escape key to open the terminal in my code editor. And then I'm going to go ahead and put localhost 8000. We're not even going to get anything going over here. It's just going to say, yours won't do that. That is another server running. Let's actually do one thing before we get going. I'm going to stop some other services really quick because they're not part of the stream. They ain't part of the stream. We don't need them. We don't need that. It was actually part of the last stream. I'm fixing some apps. And somebody actually came along in the last stream and it brought up some really good things that I believed were good value to show newcomers. And it's funny because it's like user research to even hit those things. To be like, that is probably how that should have been explained to you. And I'll tell you, like 9 times out of 10, it'll probably come out as word jumble from my mouth, but I think we get the point across. Everybody seems to relate. Okay, so now if I refresh this page, we should get nothing. Yeah, okay, clears. Cool. That's what I would have expected. Okay, so the next step is we want to teach you guys to leverage AI on this channel. So you should be able to have either ChatGPT up on your right side or Cursor up on the left side. And we're going to open Cursor because I want to show the newcomers that are using Cursor how to utilize this in a fairly quick workflow way, at least how I've been doing it. And I've switched my keys to Control Shift L. I'm not going to go over the key mapping either for Cursor. If you need to go get it, you can go to Preferences and go to Cursor Settings and go into the key mappings. Is that here? Yeah, I'm not going to jump in that. But the reasoning is because I like to use Control L to clear my terminal. Chat and Composer. Come on. That's Steven. Sorry, Steven, that's you. I thought you might have been Evan. Composer is very similar to bolt.new, as that it just generates the code for you quickly. Chat is going to give you a much more refined approach where it's not going to go ahead and start throwing the code into the files. It's going to ask you if you would like to apply this code before it actually applies. I like that because it's just easier for me to track what changes. The caveat to that is the chat just gets a bit interesting with regards to you have to read through it a little bit more refined to understand what it's actually trying to apply. The composer itself is more or less just going to apply everything. Okay, so now we could just prime this thing a bit. We want to tell it like a little bit about what we're going to do, and I think the newcomers to get this, they're going to want to apply this in the same way. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, you are an expert software. Give me 1 second. Weenie Dog is having a bad dream. Hey, bud. Weenie Dog, man. Weenie Dog. We'll get him on the screen soon. We're going to tell it to be an expert software engineer because we want it to encompass the knowledge of that software engineer. And we can jazz it up a little bit with decades at Google. I don't know if that's going to help a little bit. I should probably evaluate that later. But you are tasked with creating a fast... actually, the way that we're going to start this is we're going to start with the Python class, just like we said. So we need to... You're a let's just say an expert software engineer. Let's just keep it simple for tonight. What we could do is we could space this out a little bit. We could say your persona is an expert software engineer. Your task is create a Python class for managing users in a CRUD application. We're also going to ask it to create a list of dummy users. We're not going to actually say anything about tests yet, because we don't want it to start laying tests into files. We want to keep it very simple. We're going to say that. Oh, actually, we're going to stop this because we need to cancel generation. We need to specify the framework. I'm sorry. I keep losing track. Python class for managing users in CRUD application. This is actually fine. Problem with this is that when we want to switch to FastAPI, it's going to utilize Pydantic to create models. I have not used the data class that much. I hear it's. I mean, I've seen it used quite frequently, and it's something that I should get more familiar with. Maybe that's something we can learn about right now. We're going to convert this. Let's just update the AI. We are going to convert this to FastAPI. Could we use Pydantic? See, in this now, this changes the output of what we're actually looking for. And it's going to create this user management file, and it's going to already go ahead and try to start to create our main file for our FastAPI. So I guess we're going to just power through this on the composer. And so this more or less just gave us the full API. We can go and click on the files. That was not expected. And we can accept all of them. The other thing that we need to do is we need to create a dependencies file in order to install everything. So the way to do that, and that's actually what we're trying to do here, but we want to do this. I don't really know why Pydantic email. I feel like it's just Pydantic, but I don't even know if we have to specify. But what we need to do is create a requirements.txt file. We're going to take FastAPI, UVcorn, UVcorn. I don't even think I need to specify Pydantic, but we're going to do another one of... I don't think we need to specify Pydantic. I don't think I've ever had to specify Pydantic before. And then we're going to create a command that makes this starting the server really easy. I'm just going to paste this in here. We're going to tell it on port 80. We're going to tell it to reload, and it's going to add batch at the top. If you're going to create a shell script, you need to have this at the top, and then you can start defining your commands inside of that script file. But we're just going to make that a really easy way to start the server. I could even make it executable, but I like to just keep it simple and just run the bash prefix before it. So the next thing we need to do is we want to install this into a virtual environment. And I highly recommend everybody that comes to this channel check out UV. This is a package manager built in Rust for Python, and it basically just prefixes all of your commands with UV that you're normally running with pip, and it just speeds up insanely fast. I've been using this in my build pipelines, and I've gotten most of them under a minute. So we're running this on Linux, on ours, and If you're running this on Git Bash, it should work too. I might want to try wget. I might believe that that comes by default. I've seen that curl doesn't come sometimes on those machines, so wget might be a better option. It should more or less give you the same thing. So I've already installed it, but you should run this, and then it should install it on your system and get you going. The next step after you've installed that on your system is to run venv, like shown here. What that's going to do inside of this directory is create for us a virtual environment folder. This is going to allow us to keep our dependencies separate from our host system and make it very easy to clean up. It's not a container, but it's very similar in the way that it creates a way of just storing. It's actually not. It's actually much closer to the node modules if you're from JavaScript world. But in the sense of creating isolation and making it easy cleanup, that's why I would mention that. But so to get our dependencies installed, we had to add our dependencies to this file, and then we just go pip install -r, and then we specify the requirements file. If we had a development file, so you do this in JavaScript with dev dependencies, when you do this in Python, you actually just create another one. And there are other methodologies, but there's like pipenv and stuff and poetry for package managers. I would recommend doing this first and then learning those if you don't like this. I have relatively not even traveled there, and I've gotten most of what I needed from just doing this. But this is where you'll define your PyTest and a few other files for most likely linting and such. But in order to do those files, you can do -r and then another -r and then specify that file as well. And it will install all of them. And if you need to have files or dependencies excluded, you can create a constraints.txt, and then what you'll do is put in that same command -constraints.txt. I've had one time where I had to apply constraints in order to make sure that I had a correct dependency, or it might have been that I needed to remove one. It was a while ago, but you might rarely use it, but it's just something to be aware of. So now that we have all of our dependencies installed, you can see here that we still have some. It doesn't seem like things are loading in, and what I recommend you to do is hitting Control-Shift-P, and you'll see something like this. Find the one that says Python clear cache and reload window, and that's what we're going to do. You see here in a moment that it should fix our imports up here at the top. Great. So now you can see that those are syntactically being highlighted. So our application more or less is ready to go, and we can run Python main, or we could run the command that it gave us. And in this case, we have to run the command that it gave us. In some cases, you can define down here the same environment variables, and that's actually something we were going to do. We're going to change it to that because in my opinion, I like running this rather than running the UV corn from the machine, because most likely Python is already installed, and so it just seems cleaner to me. And I can define inside of this file the environment variables in order to have things rendered conditionally for that application. We'll get into that. But let's go ahead and just boot this thing up. So we're not going to run python main.py. We're actually going to run the bash script that we created right here that gave us this command here. And we're going to run pash start.sh. And as you can see, we got some issues. And the most likely thing is because I didn't follow his instructions about email. That's funny. Okay, so it got me. It got me there. I don't understand that. It's a very interesting thing. Okay, so let's follow its instructions. I guess the AI overlord is right in this situation. So we've reran our install requirements. This is something you're going to have to do in programming. I'm going to take my video and make me a bit smaller so you can see the chat a bit. Where were we? Oh, right. We were trying to start the server. I'm hitting up a few times on my keyboard in order to get the command back into place. And I had sworn that we ran that, but maybe we didn't. We probably didn't. Pip. Did we add it to the file and then not run it? I'm pretty sure we did. Idantic email. Huh. Let's expand this a bit more and shrink this. We are going to run uv pip. Interesting. Did it create another bash terminal for me? Oh, I know what we did wrong. Ha. This is another thing. Well, wait, now it just... So what I was looking for here is this was creating a virtual environment, and it wasn't there a second ago. I'm going to have to look back at the stream to check, but I'm fairly sure it wasn't. And we need to initialize our virtual environment, and I don't know if we did, so I do want to make sure I show that. So what we're going to type is we have this virtual, we just ran uvvmb. Now we need to run source vmv bin activate. This is going to enable our virtual environment. Now we should be running this pip command. And that's kind of interesting that it ran that before. So they must already be installed. And we don't need anything from the dev, so we don't really care about that folder. And okay. Let's run. Start sh. Don't break on me now. Okay, cool. We should be at the next step. Not sure what was wrong there, but... And if I go to localhost 8000, I should now see not found. And it says that I should go to docs. And this is the beauty of doing FastAPI, is that you get this out of the box. Like, what did we... I can now have any dev come look at this and say, I know how this API works just by looking at the API documentation. It's done it for us. We've just built out a full API and the documentation. Typically in other frameworks, this is a two-step process. You'll have to define comments, and in FastAPI, it's all defined in code. And this is the beauty of FastAPI. I didn't do much there. Obviously I got caught up in a few hiccups, which is, as you'll learn as a dev, happens to everybody at every single point in time. But this is how cool this is. We've already gotten the server set up. We can even try to hit the endpoints and see if it returns back our fake users. Bob Wilson, Jane Smith. We've got a full API now. So the next thing I want to do is I want to save this into GitHub, because we want to build on this project. That's always the next step after you get something kind of minimally set up. So we're going to go over here, and I'm probably going to create... I'm going to start littering up this account, but we'll archive these later. We're going to call this our Twitch FastAPI. And then we're going to leave it public so that anybody else can come to the stream and just clone it down and mess with it if they like, or contribute it. That's kind of the whole point. And we are going to now add this to our Git repo. So if you're not familiar, you should go over to github.com and create an account, and then create a repository, and then do this exact same thing that I'm doing. So I'm actually going to put a new terminal window here. Our old one's right here, our new one's right here. And inside of this same directory, I'm going to also create another file called a .gitignore file. And what we need to do in here is we need to tell it that we're going to ignore the .env, and we also want to just make sure that it ignores it in every single folder. And yeah, we're not going to do that. So don't always just do exactly what AI is doing. Because what this would have done, this would have just ignored all Python files in our whole project. That's not what we want. but we do want to do this to the ones that I'm showing here. Yes, the E and V ones, that's a correct one, and we're going to do that. And I don't ever see a DS store. I want to say that's more for a Mac computer. The other one is probably the cache files. It's showing those files. And I think we should be good to go. We're going to save only this file, this file, this file, this file, this file, and this file to GitHub. So now in our other terminal, we are going to go ahead and initialize this directory by saying get init, which is this first command. And we can just, the next one, I would just say get add. And you can also do this from this part in your editor, but we're going to do it from the command line. And then we're going to make a commit. And I'm going to make this a bit smaller. And we're going to paste that, and then it's going to ask for a message. We just need to tell it exactly what we've done. We created the project. Or you can say initial commit, and that's most likely what most developers will do. And the next step is we're going to git push and dash u, and then it's going to say to run these. Yeah, dash u main. You don't need, we actually do need to run this one right here though. That tells the local directory which repository that we're actually connecting to. And this, I'm just going to say master, that's the kind of the original one, and it should just work. Now, if I refresh our right side, we're going to see our project. And one thing that we do not have is we don't have a README. And the one thing we should do is have people be able to understand how to start this project up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a commit to this. And we're going to do this in the dev way. We're going to create an issue. We're going to say we need to add a README to tell other devs how to start the project. You don't really need to put the description if you're working alone, but I wanted to show you kind of what the intention was behind that box. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a branch. Well, I'm actually going to create another branch. This is going to be a parallel branch to our master branch. And I'm going to do git checkout -b, and I'm going to call this development. We're going to get add development, we're going to get commit, and we're going to say this is the initial commit. It's actually going to clone the existing master, and it's going to give us a checkpoint in order to run a parallel branch next to our master branch. And this is where our changes are going to go as a team. And this is going to be our, we can call it the head. So now that we've created a development branch, we're going to branch off of development and create a feature branch. Add README. And that's, we want to give the feature, it's going to be either feat or bug slash, and then the issue number 1, and then a short description about what we're actually accomplishing, just so that it's understand what this branch is for. So we're going to hit enter, then we're going to hit get add, just like this is the way you're going to start out every single issue you do. Git push, we're going to have an exact copy of development, and then we're just going to, and this is kind of, I got lazy with this, I could have used done -u, but I really just kind of copy this and paste it in there. Then we are going to check what our last command was. Okay, cool. Then we can click on push pull requests. We're not going to see anything because we don't have any different changes than what our development branch has. I'll reference these as our development branch is going to be our target branch, and our feature branch is going to be our source branch, meaning we have forked off a branch from development to do our commits, and we're going to make individual small saves along the way. And then we're going to merge that branch back into development, which is our target. So source, target. And so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to create a README file. And here's something to know about AI. It's not good at dealing with markdown files. At least in the chats, it's actually fine with I'm actually not sure. Let's see. The way I think the best way to do this is to do this with Control K. Because what I've seen is when you do this in the chat, it ends up getting weird because that is the format that the AI responds in, and so it actually cannot decipher, it can't render the chat correctly. So I would do this in Control K mode and say, at the problem that you're going to get with this is that it's not going to be able to get all of the files. This is the difference between the chat, is that you get this, you can't do at codebase. And what I could do is I could do this files and scope it to just this one. And then I guess I could do at files, and we could do user management, and then files, start, and main. I've got main. We'll do that one. When you do the chat, you can do this as an at code base, but the problem with that is that it's going to be applying markdown into this, and it's not going to be able to use the chat correctly. So what I want to do is I want to do this. I could use Composer, I guess, but I think this is probably a better method and cleaner. Please provide us a eye-catching main README for our repository so other devs know how to run it and get their dependencies installed. And it probably would have just done this for me, but it probably could have just specified. And this is what I mean. It seems like it's already starting to mess up. So it looks like it has a problem either way, which is crazy. That's interesting. So let's try this with Composer. This is definitely, look at that. It cut off the whole thing. So let's try this with Composer. This is a good test to see if this is really an issue. So with Composer, and I don't think chat would work. Like chat, I believe, is the no-go. But I would believe that Composer, at least if it's able to just add stuff into the files without me just approving each one. And this is the at code base I was talking about. If you do at code base, it should just have full context to everything. If you have secret files, this is something to be aware of. You need to have a .cursor file, like a .cursor ignore file in your repository, and it should most likely have very similar results to what the get ignore does. Definitely on your hidden files related to envs. And so we're going to commit both of these. But let's see if Composer can get our README correctly. Let's go scope to the README and hit submit. And see, that's where it starts to break. And you can see it itself. Because what it ends up trying to do, it ends up trying to do this. And what happens is that is actually being utilized as most likely a wrapper for a lot of this. And this is what you're going to deal with in ChatGPT. You're going to deal with this in everywhere. And it's dirty, but that's just the way that it's going to have to happen with AI, because that AI is using it as a means of communication for a lot of things. So we have to get crafty with this and do this ourselves, almost, unfortunately. I can take this get URL. CD in the project. Fix this one because it's actually not supposed to be there. take, see, that's not what we want. I guess we're just going to be doing the documentation ourselves, huh? This is what you get, and this is why it's good to just learn these things yourself. And really what it is actually it's just repetition. You do this 5 times, you're going to know what to do, and then you're going to be able to build on top of it. See, like I as a human, I have human error, and I have to remember some of these things, like just remember to start the virtual environment. And then start the server. Be able to just run bash start sh. And then let's just see if it gave us any other good stuff. I did like this. And how far down was that? API documentation? Doesn't have any tests right now, so putting format. I don't have a license on it. So I think that's going to be good. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to add that now. But the way that we're going to add this to be very meticulous is we're going to go back over here and we're going to click this. And you can see here that this U means that it's untracked, meaning that it's not actually showing in our GitHub repository. So we're going to click the stage and we're going to stage this one. And we could actually get back to where we can start doing this on a more granular level inside the file. So you can see here I just deleted those, but if I want to add them back, I just hit that line and they're back. And that is when I'm in this tab in my editor. So we're going to commit those files by saying we don't even have to put git add, because that's actually what we did here. We only have to do git commit, put our message, updated, added a readme. And we did that on our feature branch, and we can do git push, and you can see here, feet, and then we had something pop up here to the top right. We're going to click there, and we're going to do from, whoops, we're going to copy our source branch, put it here, and we're going to label which branch is our target. And if you notice, I need to go and change this because the default of the repo is using the master at the current, and that's fine, that's normal. And typically if you're doing an open source repository, you can have it labeled a couple different ways. There are people that call their branches stable as their master branch, and they have other ones that they call them nightly for a nightly build that might be released. Master and development are the ones that I utilize in that case, and what I typically do is I like to leave development as the default branch on private branches, and then on public, it really just is however I feel about it at the time. But most of the time I'll have the dev branch be the default, meaning that when you go to create a PR, it'll just default be here. And you can do that in the settings of your repository over here. And what we need to do in order to auto close the issue that we created here is in the description, we do closes, and then a hashtag, and then the number 1. And this will create our PR, our pull request. It allows us to track the changes or the differences between our source branch and our target branch. And here you can see, here's the changes that we've made on our source branch. And we actually want to create one more thing, and this is another thing that you're going to use called a changelog. And I'm just going to go steal it from one of my repositories, so you can do it the same thing as well. I've been doing that for years, just stealing it from my own. But you're going to grab this. You might not utilize it now, but it's good practice to have, because you're going to want to learn something called semantic versioning. This is how you are going to increment versions as you develop things in your application. And so if you ever need to go back as a checkpoint in any part of your application, this is a way of understanding how to do that. So just follow this best practice. Create the changelog as a way for people to see what's been done in those versions. And then what I like to do is I just like to say, we have we've changed, and we have added development branch. And we also added a feature branch. And I like to have a script that help assist with this. And if you need that, you can actually come to the repository right here as LangGraph template, and you can go in here and you can grab the scripts out yourself. They're in the backend folder in the scripts directory, and you can go to this changelog. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to keep it very simple for now, but I'd say add this. But we're going to add a commit onto this branch, and this is going to be another checkpoint on our feature branch. So we're going to do git add, or we can come over here and do it more granularly. We've added that change. We're going to commit message, added changelog, git push. We don't have to run that -u anymore because it already knows what the upstream is when we did the first command. And as you can see, it's reloading over here. And if I refresh my page, you can now see that I have 2 commits. I have the first one that we added, which was our README, and then our second one, which was adding our changelog. And I can click on each of these and see each of those changes and what was added in them. But ultimately, the one that is currently ahead is the second one, and it really is a combination of all of them. So even if you click through these commits, these are not going to be, hey, thanks, Mia. I love you, baby. These are going to be the amalgamation of your changes. So, not each one is going to be the change. You actually want to come over here to Files Changes to see the total changes that you've made from all of the commits. Because you could go into another file that already has the changes you already made, and you might be editing that same file. So you might have changes to another file you've already changed in the past. Okay, so we finished our changes. I think that's going to be it for building our API server tonight. I do want to show you guys a little bit of how it works before we wrap up this piece. And then we're going to probably chill out the rest of the night and play some video games. And if there's anybody who'd love to ask some questions, feel free to do so. And I'm definitely going to use this to cut some content up later. Let's see. Did we push our changes? We did, right? Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to merge this, and we're going to make sure we get them locally. And what I did want to show you, the reason why I wanted to show you this is because now when we click on our repo, well, we have to do this with the development branch because it's not the default. So we're going to now do development into master, create another pull request. This is going to merge development into master. And this is why I typically like to do the development as the default, because you'll most likely just have a ton of changes on development and rarely update master. But as we look at the repo now, we now have a README that somebody can come in here, read how it works, and get the project running, and it also looks nice. And I believe that you might get a little SEO out of it too. And it might actually be on the about. I might be wrong in that. But that's our project. Let's see. Let's get it up and running just so everybody can see that we have those changes. And to get our changes onto our local environment, we need to come back over here, and we're going to check our branch by saying git branch. We're currently on the feature branch, so we're going to go check out development. We don't need -b. You only need -b when you're creating a new branch. You use git checkout when you want to go actually scope the other branch. So we're going to go to git development, and then we're going to do a git pull. and we have our changes that we made. We have our change log all locally right here. And I do want to start this back up. And I want to just hit the API endpoint so you can kind of see this. So we can't create more users because they're statically in the file. If you go to the user manager, you can see it statically created these in file, and so I can't really add to them. Maybe I can because they're in memory. Let's go ahead and test that out. I'm always a little fuzzy before this comes out. So we definitely can list our users. So let's just try to create a Ryan Eggleston at Prompt Engineers AI. We'll hit execute. It says it created it. And so if we go over to our list and we run this again, it does. Okay, that's interesting. Because the server's still running, it's keeping this in memory, meaning that if I stop this server and rerun this, and then I hit this again, my user's gone. And so that's just something to be aware of. That's how in-memory works, unless there's a database there to persist it or a file to catch that where that is persisted. So I could just store that in a JSON file and it could work that way and be persisted. But in-memory means I execute it now, I go look here now, and yeah, it's there. But when the server crashes, it's gone. That's cool. So we know we can create a user and keep it in memory. And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get the ID for my user and see if we can remove it or get it. Let's get this user. You can see that got my user information. The patch would update it. So I guess I put 4 here, and then I'd say, if I didn't pass one of them, it should really only update my username. So let's say John Eggs. That's what a patch does. If you didn't pass the other one, it should really overwrite, but it really just depends how it's programmed underneath. I mean, that should be how it works for patch though too. Is it really just how it's programmed underneath is how it's programmed? Patch and put, I believe there could be some similarities, but you rarely ever have to learn patch. But as you can see here, patch updated that, and I bet if I look at this now, we can see that John Eggs is now the username as opposed to Ryan Eggs before. And we can close this, and then we can delete that user now. Deactivate that user is fairly interesting. Let's see what that does. Execute, and then it probably goes and looks at, let's see, it probably returned it. Is active. So it deactivated my user. So it basically just updates me. It means that I can't update that here, but you can update it through deactivating. That's I like that endpoint. That's really cool. You might not do that sometimes. You just may only have these top 5. But now we can delete the user. We can go back here. And as you can see, seems like it's still there. Nope, I just forgot to hit get. There it is. So that is a CRUD FastAPI. We didn't really get into a Python class, so I think that's probably something we should break down for us really quickly. I had somebody earlier today on stream. They jumped on, they're a newer dev. I want to assist new devs coming to the ecosystem that are coming in through learningbolt.new, ChatGPT, Claude, and then having to get into the editor. And what you kind of need is most of them are entering through Python and JavaScript. So if you're coming from the Python world, here's what you're going to do. You need to learn the vocabulary. And the vocabulary is relatively basic, but somebody's got to kind of give you the instructions. So forget everything that we just did from this project. We just built a server. At a very minimal basis, if you need to learn syntax in any language, the best thing you could do is go build a class in that language. Not all languages have classes, or they're not all object oriented. Let me say that. That's a better way of putting it. But if you prompt the AI in saying that you want to build a class in this language, it will understand what you're trying to do and it will help you get that way and it'll help you learn how to do that. Because once you know how to build a class in any language, you fundamentally can you understand how to utilize that language much more. And that's kind of the first step in programming, in my belief, is let's create a main file. I'm actually just going to create a brand new thing for us. Make directory tester. It's going to be really... We're going to create a main.py file, and we want to create a vehicle class. The easiest way I can do this is just by saying create a vehicle class in the comments. Boom. Okay, so it's now going to give us a Python class, and then it's going to give us some more methods. And here's, if you just look at this, you'll just get it right away. And I can explain everything to you and what it is. So these are properties of this class: make, model, year. And what we can do is we can define a vehicle. We can go R down here. And what we've done is we've created a class. What happens is these are the first, this is the make, and these just get pathed into this class that we've defined. And now that we've done that, we can call property, or we can call methods off of this class and manipulate the variables that were input on this class. So let me break it down a little bit further. When you first start out, you need to learn constants. We need to learn what is the make. Toyota. These are constants. Start with this. You then need to learn how what the data types are. We have a list of cars, and we want to say car I don't know if it's actually going to make them into dictionaries. I'm going to put these down here because we don't actually need them as part of the class, because the class is just the definition of all of these, and the actual execution is happening all down here at the bottom. From top to bottom is how code runs. And so we're going to let this actually get replaced. And we can remove this car. And we can just go ahead and take car 1 and add it through here. And so by doing this, car 1 would get the description, and we would have a Toyota Corolla for both of these. That's not good. So what we want to do is we want to define 2 different types of cars. So we're going to create another list. We're going to create car details. What should have happened, it should have happened in here. I didn't want this. Like, that's kind of the whole predicament that we're in. Is I actually just want some dictionaries. Yep, that's what I wanted. And then Python will do some stuff like this to get these into an array, but you can think of this as just taking the vehicles and then inserting the properties into the car. And so we could technically create a virtual environment to do all this. I don't really need that, I don't think, actually. So we can just do main. Yeah, this is why I do a virtual environment. And now we should be able to do Python main.py. Mileage. Unexpected keyword. Because it tried to add something in, and this is why AI is somewhat the curse. It adds in things in the wrong way. And now, vehicle mileage. Mileage. It's never even read. I didn't want it anyways. Mileage. Somebody's gonna tell me that it's in. We're just gonna get description. That's all we want. Yeah. Sorry I didn't catch that earlier, Steven. If you're still around, I'd be happy to help you out. I'm done with this pretty much, man. Yeah, this one will work. Watch. Boom. Toyota Corolla 2022. We can do 2024. We can change this to 4Runner. And we can do 1, and it will come up as the 4Runner now. Because we defined that we changed the position in the array. This is one way of doing things. This is how to build a class. This is how to define the details that need to be inserted into the class. And then this is a list of vehicles, and then you can see how we utilize that class from there. Another way that we could utilize this is by importing this in here. Yep, go ahead and just jump in the Discord, and I can hop you up. I'm just gonna wrap this piece, and then I'm ready to go, bro. Vehicle. I'm gonna create this vehicle because I want to show you how to do import statements. Because this is really the cherry on top for Spanky earlier today. We now can utilize all of that in here. If we just import everything from vehicle and this same file, you can now see we can take this print statement out because this is no longer the entry point. Vehicle's not the entry point, main is the entry point, and we're importing everything into here and utilizing it. So we could take these pieces out right here. We could take all of these pieces out right here and import only vehicles and then be good to go. And run it again. And you see, that's how you build a class. And then this is how you define an entry point and import those classes into the entry point and then call it. That's going to be it on this part of the stream. Thank you guys for watching this. And then we're going to help Steven now. Steven, what do you got, broski?
So I was so you know how I have like my majority of my kind of like the front end on kind of like VO right now?
Yes, I believe so.
So I was trying to get one of the screens ready because I need to make like kind of like a marketing post, kind of talking about some other screens than the usual ones I have.
Okay.
And then there's this one screen where kind of I want to add like an image to it. And I've tried to
Yeah.
do it in video and like add like an image folder and stuff like that. It doesn't really work. And when I try to upload it, it doesn't really like to do that.
Okay.
It kind of just like the size and like everything's so hard to manipulate and whatnot. Just wondering if like you would know kind of how to maybe like take it out of the VO base and like put it into like kind of cursor and do it from there or something
Yeah,
like that.
let's do it. You want to hear it and just show screen?
Yeah, I will.
Cool.
There's this device. Are you able to see it?
I'm getting it up now. I'm gonna pull you over the stream so if anybody else is watching, I can check it out. Yes, I can.
It's kind of right here. This one right here is kind of for the logo, and then this was supposed to be kind of like, oh, I didn't mean to click that, but kind of like the ChatGPT logo or like any other like model that they're using kind of shows right here.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of just trying to get those as kind of like images so
Okay,
I can kind of like post it.
so did you say that you imported them in here already and they're just broken?
Yeah, as you can see, it's like a try to highlight it again.
So can
It's
you
like
do
Crow
a
logo right
can
there.
you do a what I want you to do is I want you to see, can you open up a console? Like they have console up there. I want to see if you're getting any errors. Now, see that's kind of a part. This kind of sucks. Also, here's I would honestly switch to bolt.new. I mean, I know that so
Yeah.
basically you're trying to extract this though right at the moment, right?
Just kind of like just take a screenshot of it. Is like the main goal, but I was thinking like it'll be easier if I just kind of like extract in and do it myself,
The best
like
way
add
would
an
just be
image.
to put it in GitHub. Have you put it on GitHub yet?
I have not, no. Actually, I
Let's do
think
that.
all right, perfect.
because that's like that's the easiest way, and it's the right way. And the problem is that yeah, there's a little bit of a learning curve with it, but if you want to back your code up, that you can start to create branches and start to do things to it, you're going to want to put it on GitHub.
All right. So how do I go about that?
Um, hmm. See if you can. Do you have in B.0? Is there the concept of like these projects? Like, is there a project that you come and like select this? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Go
right
to
here.
click on the bottom right corner. I want to say there's. I want to say they gotta have something. Did you sign in with GitHub when you created your B.0 account?
I have multiple for like different things. Yeah, this one's my GitHub account one.
Okay, cool. So then, um, the next thing I would do. Well, have you checked your GitHub? Is it already there? I would think that it's already there then.
Let's check.
What browser are
It'll
you
be in.
using?
This is Arc.
Okay,
It's
I
like kind
didn't.
of
I thought that they didn't have it out on. I thought it was only on Mac. Dang. Okay, I
it
might.
recently just came out.
Okay, I might have to do that. I was trying out Brave, and I don't know if I like it yet. I like
I
this.
I love using Arc.
It looks cool.
It's my
I mean,
favorite.
that's kind of how Brave is, but I don't know if how I like the sidebar in Brave. Um, do you not see your? Is it? Do you not see your project?
I do not know. This one that was like this is an old one. This is not it.
Interesting. Okay, I would have
No clue
thought that
what
they would
that
have done
is.
that. I would have thought that they would have done that by default. Okay, let's go back to V0.
All right. Where's that?
The best way to do this in ever you get stuck is just to go to Perplexity and ask. But
Go to Perplexity.
yeah, it's probably like I would, because more or less it's going to be able to give you a good Google, like basic Google search of it, and it should be able to give you like direct instructions. That's how I look it up. If I don't want to go look at the documentation quick, I'll be like, hey, can you tell me how to save my v0.dev projects to GitHub
All
from
right.
the
So search up
interface?
how to save my VO projects
You might want to
to
say
GitHub
v.0, yeah, v0.dev, because it probably won't know exactly that v's like, yeah, there you go,
projects to GitHub
from the
like
interface.
that.
And why I'm saying interface, because I don't want it to get confused. Yeah, just good. Go ahead.
Oh, this is my first time using this. Wow.
Perplexity. Oh man.
Yeah.
So you generate a project, create a new project. Da, da, da. You already have all that. Scroll down, import the generated code, add to code base. You've already done that. Create a new GitHub repository. Go to GitHub and create a new repository. Oh, so you're like literally gonna run this in the terminal.
Oh wow.
That's
I actually
funny.
tried doing this from the terminal earlier
And
because that was like my first attempt, but I didn't do it like that. I kind of went to my projects and it had like a shad CN thing, and it
oh
was just not
really?
working. So I just
No,
kind of
okay. So I guess you have to
honestly
do
gave
this.
up.
You have to do this from the terminal, I guess. So what we're gonna do is go to GitHub and create the repository so that we can create the linkage.
I'll call it just throw from in.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to make this private for now and create a repository. All right. So do I just create a code base with it?
No, that's different. So you're actually going to. You don't have to do anything. Just pull this to the side, get back to v.0, and get to the console.
A v.0. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
because I would have expected you would have been able to do that with like the three dots at v.0 on the project, but I mean, Perplexity is saying you got to run this from the console, so I mean, I guess that makes sense how you do it. But this is like seemed like the JavaScript console.
yeah, there's like I
This
don't.
is the JavaScript console. This is
There's like
not.
a deploy button here. I don't really know what that
No, but
does.
that's not gonna do it. Here, hit the what's the share button? What are those buttons? Oh, You know what? Actually, what's this? I had to code things.
There's a fork and there's
All
a
right, I
share.
guess I'm gonna get Perplexity up too. Hold on. Let's see. V0 and project to GitHub. How to deploy? I don't want to. I don't care about deploying. We need to get push nv.0 add to codebase. Okay, I guess you do go to add to codebase.
In the chat, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Oh, what just happened? Oh, there it is.
add to
And do I just
codebase.
click this? Yeah, that's what I tried with this
Maybe click
MPA
chat.
chat CN thing.
What does this mean? Add to codebase. Then copy the provided shad seed command. Navigate to your project folder in the terminal. This oh, this is making you it gives you a thing to do that locally. That is what that command does. If you run that
Mm,
locally, it will just put the project on your local machine.
okay.
So like if you go to git bash and you go create a folder and then you go and just run that inside that folder, it should just unpack everything, I would believe. And then you run git.
Okay, because I never really got this command to work. I think I tried on a previous project. It's
Right,
not
but
it.
do it in the go back into remember that git bash shell and you were having issues when you were doing it in PowerShell? Did you run that from so like go to
Get
your
bash.
yeah, go to git bash, open up a new terminal. Yep, new window maybe.
But
You might
yeah,
want to do
or
it.
open up new window.
Yeah, and open up a different folder because you're going to just want to create a new folder. You may want to just create a new folder real quick if you have something in new new proj.
And go to new proj and add a folder.
Yeah, new app something or front end, crow front end. And then just select folder and then open the control tilde and
And
then
switch
go
to
git bash.
and then run that command.
Yeah, try that.
So many things open. Is this one? Oh, now it's working.
What is your
This
project
my app.
name? Yeah, it's probably just gonna end up creating a my app in here. So you're gonna need to cd into that app that one now. But
Okay.
it's there. And so if you're going to go add this to your repository, do it from that my app directory.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't do it in this current one. Do it from that my app directory. Now you can go add. You can run the git commands, and it should just go ahead and push it to the GitHub directory. And it will be locally.
Yeah, I never made it this far when I tried it by myself. But I
Knowing
made
where to
like a
run
full,
it's yeah, knowing where to run it's hard.
New York neutral. Yes.
Oh, it's kind of interesting that it's like allowing you to do all this after the fact, after it comes out of V.0. That's kind of cool.
And for free too, because I don't have the
Interesting.
premium.
Dang, so that's pretty slick. That's pretty
But
slick that it'll just go build all those it'll just go build those apps so quick. And then
would
that's
I
how you
want to
get it down to your
override it,
machine.
the layout?
Um no, it's hit no.
Oh, wait.
I don't know what it's yeah. It already exists and it's like okay.
Would I run like npm run dev again for this to test it
Yeah,
out?
but you're gonna need to get into the my app directory.
Oh yeah. TDMI.
I don't know if it yeah, do an npm I. Okay, now do an npm, and I don't even know what the command is. It's probably npm start, but the way to look at it is if you go to click on the package JSON file, it should tell you. Start, yep, or dev. So yeah, just npm dev.
npm dev.
Yep. Run dev. I always think I'm slick by thinking just not running run. That should be good. Go ahead and pull it up.
Up to the screen.
Give it a
It's taking
minute.
a while to load.
It's next. It takes a minute, but that doesn't look like the site, does it?
It says get started by editing applications, save and see your changes instantly.
That's not right. But this isn't your site.
No, it's saying like deploy now.
No, there's something doesn't look right.
Did it change
But it's
something
all
for me?
there. It almost seems like it did.
Do I have to like maybe like pay or something?
No, okay. So go to the app.page.tx. It seems like what they do is they give it to you, but they don't give it to you like they've
Would
given you a default file instead of just giving you the thing.
would I be able to like because I can go in here and then see the code. Would I just like copy and paste this code and replace it?
No, but they didn't give you like an entry point. Like they allowed you to create the pages and then they showed you what those pages look like independently, but they didn't like do the routing for you. It seems like, or
Mm.
maybe they did behind the scenes. What they're saying is you now have to go create your default page. Like because page right there, all of that, if you
Oh,
click, yeah, like that is that right there. That's that black page. They generated that themselves. And so what you need to do is you now need to render those other components into this page. That's kind of dumb.
so it would kind of be like no way for me to do that,
No,
kind
there's
of.
plenty. There is. It's just that you kind of have to like go back to your editor real quick. So
Oh
see
my,
here,
right here.
no, you're in your v.0.
Oh my B's here.
So like what they did is they have app and they have a file. They have page. Okay, so I guess this is what you're supposed to do in the next thing. Okay, and then they have components. That's good. So they give you the app folder and they give you the components folder, and they start generating stuff in there. But they don't really tell you the other pieces, and you need to go put the component. Like which one's your landing page? Dash
Um,
is it the dashboard one?
I can actually check. Am I able to check what it does? I think it's the dashboard one because I haven't exactly came up with an exact landing page because you can see it like
Okay.
starts off blank and it goes to,
Well,
like I
that
can click dashboard and learning and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So, but what's the page? What's that page that when you were going back right there? The like yeah.
Let me really load.
Is it
Uh,
slash chatbot? Is that your landing page?
Let me try
I guess
reloading.
I guess it probably is. Go to
It's
your
just
go to
slash zero. It's just slash nothing is the original
try doing
page.
slash chatbot on your other one.
And in here.
Yeah, I want to see if it gives you those pages.
Oh
There it
wow,
goes.
that
Okay,
that's
so
how.
yeah,
And
it is
that's probably
because
my bad.
no, it's not
Maybe.
your bad. They just generate. They didn't generate you a landing page, or you didn't create a landing page and it just didn't understand. Like that's probably what happened. Is that you asked for all the other pages, but you didn't specifically ask for a landing page, and it generated one. I guess I don't know. It seems like they almost all just generate one by default, but I can't tell because I haven't ran through it. But essentially, now you just need to get the landing page where that other in just cursorify it. Instead, do that. Go back.
It's this one.
Go yeah, do
I think.
a chat window, do an at code base, and then yep,
Would
and
would I just
then
tell it to make the dashboard the landing page? Because that's kind of all I have
yeah, you can do
running.
that. Go ahead and do that. Just say, hey, make the dashboard the the home page. Hopefully, it doesn't give you the reverse. But, like I'm hoping that it will take your dashboard and make it the home page, and not the home page and try to make it the dashboard. I think you should be fine. Like, it'd be really dumb if it got that wrong. You'll
It
find
has
out
the
though.
quick starts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, and now do I just go here and then delete
Well, did
this?
Yeah, you could. I think there was probably some more stuff there, though.
Oh, did I miss it?
Nope, nope. Actually, you're good. I thought it might have been. Yeah, go ahead and hit that.
This
So
is
yeah,
not my dashboard.
yeah. See, it didn't really do great. Go back and go to your. Yeah, you can probably do like an undo or something. I don't know if it's on the left side. Go to the right side. What does it say? No, 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 go back. There you go. What
It
does that
says
say? No, don't do
apply,
that. Just do a Control Z.
Control Z.
Yeah, Control Z again.
And then do I reject the file?
Just
Or
do
reject all
controls.
changes?
Yeah, you could do that. And now check the thing again. So now you should be
Now it's
back.
back to Next.js.
Okay, cool. So you could really just take everything out of the dashboard file and just drop it in here. Like go to your dashboard file, grab that. Yep, take that. Just take. Hold on a second. Don't do that yet. You have a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, I guess you could just take this, just copy this all. This will be the easiest way to do it. Copy all of this. I don't know if you can use client. I think you go ahead and do that.
And then just replace it for this
Yeah, replace it, and then you're gonna need to change the name to dashboard. Or I'm sorry, home.
of this.
Go up to no, just go up and put home.
Cool.
Down. Keep going. There. Change where it says
Right here.
default function. Yep, home. Now go double check.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. And yeah, I think
Actually,
you're
I
good.
didn't make that yet. It didn't copy off the nav, the sidebar though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, so you have to go adjust that. But now you have it all locally at least, and now you can iterate over it.
It's actually this is really all I needed because I just really needed just screenshots. I didn't need to make it really
Oh,
usable.
perfect.
I kind of wanted to kind of make it good enough to post on Instagram real quick.
Yeah, I feel you.
Now, so now I could go. Where's chatbot page, and then I can because this is what I was trying to do in VO was kind of change whatever the image holder was because it was just not working. The drop down here, logo space here. I tried it on my own right here, but it did not work. So I'll just create a new folder.
Because you still need the images to work.
Yeah, because it didn't
Do
work
it.
last time.
Don't do it outside the my app folder. You're outside the scope.
Oh,
You need to do it in. I want to say there's a public folder, and there's not. I don't see it. It's probably you probably need to create it. Create it in the app folder.
a public folder.
Yeah, like here, let's say Next.js. I mean, you should do this is something you should use Perplexity for. Next.js, I need a folder for my static images. So yeah, in the next public, this is next 14 though. Hold on. I gotta specify this. This is the other thing. Like this is caveat stuff you need to know because next 14 is different. Next 14. I gotta go back to the beginning and I gotta say next 14. And so what I asked was, I said, next 14, I need a folder for my static images. And what it says, create a folder in the project root. So yeah, create a public folder inside of the app. I want to say, yeah, just do it there. Do it right exactly where you're doing it right there. Public. And then create an images subfolder inside of that. Don't capitalize it. Just do
IMG.
You can do that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking about the other folder above that, though. Your public folder. Don't
Oh,
capitalize that one.
public.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make
I
sure that you
accidentally deleted
did
images. Oh
it.
no, I
Nope,
didn't.
it's still there. Yeah, and then just go ahead and make sure you drop your image in there.
Let me get it from here. Good. I need to rename it actually because this is a long name. And then it should be what? Pro dash logo. Drop it off over here. And then if I check back over here, it's there.
Perfect. There you go, bro. That's all you gotta do is you just gotta drop them in there and you're good to go.
That's actually yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that circle should be fine for a post. And I'll just do the same thing for this chatbot thing. Where that is. Where was I here? And then yeah, I did not know you could do this with VO.
Yeah, I mean, they all have to get their own little export feature. I mean, at least they gave you something like that. I mean, it is kind of a quick way. I would definitely recommend doing bolt.new though. I like their interface more than V0's. It's more code looking. It's basically just built around VS Code in the browser. So, and I
I
think that
mainly
you,
just use VO just so we can get like kind of like a front end going. I just like I don't know. I just kind of like liked it I guess better than Bolt for
Oh, really?
personally. I,
Use whatever. I didn't know. I would probably just come from a preference of looking at a code editor, and but yeah, if you're used to VO, go for it. Use the
Because I
tools that you're used
tried
to.
Bolt to make kind of like a personal project that I was working on,
Yeah.
and I kind of just say it kind of just I guess took a while. I would say it
Have you
has its like
tried?
own
Have you
style.
tried Lovable?
Lovable.
Yeah, Lovable's another one that I've been hearing some stuff about, and I've been trying to. I've been thinking about giving it a go. I think it's
I just saw this on LinkedIn. Oh
Lovable.
no, on YouTube. On YouTube.
Oh, really? Yeah, maybe try that one out and let me know what you think. I'm still stuck in Cursor, so I might try to give those. I think I need to do some streams on those and just like try to test them out from my perspective and see like how I like them and why I like them.
Bolt couldn't make the project that I wanted to make for like personal use because it said it like violated like copyright things or something like that. So I just wouldn't
Really
make it.
interesting, huh?
Which
Yeah,
it makes
too bad.
sense because what I was trying to make was like kind of like a Spotify local files converter, but it wasn't exactly for like it was for unreleased music or whatever. But it
Oh,
wouldn't make
okay,
it.
gotcha. Interesting, huh?
And I didn't have the skills to make it myself, so I kind of just dropped it.
Yeah, you're gonna. I think the way to do it is just get it a small idea and just get it out of there as fast as possible. It seems like that's the way to go.
Yeah, that was just me doing something for fun though. I wasn't really trying to make just any
Feel
like
ya.
money or anything off of it. Just try to make something.
Yeah, I feel ya. I like just to test them out. I need to do that.
Right. Yeah,
Cool,
I think
bro. We all good to go?
yeah, pretty much. I'm just gonna copy the same thing over. Yeah,
Nice,
I'm all good to
broski.
go.
Cool, man. Well, I'm glad I could help you out. I'm probably gonna hop out. I might play a few minutes of video games. I'll probably go hang out in bed and crash out for the night.
All
But
right, sounds good.
I'll be out tomorrow night.
All right, I'll
Cool,
be
bud.
there.
All right, hit me up if you need anything.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, of course, bud. Talk to you later.
See ya.
And Steven, if you're still around, let me get you guys hooked up this week with that the improving connection. Just ping me in like on Slack or something, and we can. I'll try to assist you guys in getting that lined up. I'd love to attend your guys' event as opposed to one of my events, and I think we definitely need to get a coffee thing going pretty soon. Ping me, not tomorrow or now. Ping me Wednesday. It's my son's birthday, and Tuesday I'll probably get back to work, and so Wednesday I'll probably be able to kind of like have some brain capacity to think. So hit me Wednesday, and then I'll make sure that we get it done. All right. Well, if you guys are still hanging around, I'm just gonna play some World of Warcraft for probably like 10 minutes, and then I'm probably gonna go crash out. Nice way to cool down. Use the World of Warcraft. Is Ben even on? Ben, you on, bud? Code Sandwich, are you on? Just finished up with Steven. About to do some WoW. Hop in Discord. Brew. Come chat on stream. We got our chill music going again. Out, I'm sure. Alright. Let's play our warrior. Get the lights out too. Yeah, of course, Steven. Alright, let's go figure out what to go do. Ooh, look at those graphics. Look at them graphics. Look at them graphics. I'm probably gotta make myself a little bit smaller so you can see the actual action. We can change this to the other side of the stream. Let's flip this. Let's transform. Let's do a horizontal flip. No, yeah, that's what we wanted. And then we'll take you and we'll move you here and to the right side. Yeah, that's nice. You can see all of my little icons as I hit them. Nice, good. I'm glad the alpha waves are putting you to sleep. How's Funny? Is Funny sleeping? No. Okay. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay. If anybody's wondering, I'm talking to let's say you're done. I'm talking to my girl. My girl. Yeah, I love you. That's fine. It's not like you said you weren't going to change your last name anyways. You probably just want to come put this on the Twitch stream so that at least people can like see what you're saying, and then they can like, you know, comment. I mean, pick and choose which ones you're going to put on the Twitch stream though. Don't, if you're going to put them in the Twitch stream, make sure they're appropriate. Okay? You've gone silent, or you're either going to go put them in the Twitch stream. You're probably going to go download Twitch right now. I bet that's what's happening. That's better. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Not enough rage.
Are you having fun watching me play video games, baby? I can't do nothing about it. Like, I'm playing a game. You can deal with the killing sounds or not. Isn't it like I'm in the room? Like, it's like I'm in... Well, big wall. No, I would never do that to big wall. Big wall's in here. He's right behind me. You want to see Big Wall? Let me deal with these guys real quick, and then I will show you Big Wall on stream. We will get Big Wall on stream. Give him a moment. He's gonna have plenty of moments of fame. He's probably gonna be more famous than me. Like, that's probably what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to make him a weenie stream. Right? You asked for it. You asked for it. Weenie, I need you to play this WoW. Ugh. Okay, I'm not playing anymore. Weenie's playing.
I'm out of range.
Get him, Weenie. Get him. Get him with the garrote. Get him, Weenie. Work. He is a sleepy Weenie. He's really mad. We're gonna have to put it back. He's really mad, Weenie. Look at Weenie. You're live on the stream. You're live on the stream, Weenie. I know. It's a great lighting on this Weenie. You live. Like, he is a golden Weenie. He's a golden Weenie. Okay, okay. We need to get him his own. He is the goodest golden boy. I think I need you to get him a table on the desk so he can sit right here. So if the desk, I can turn the camera a little bit and then he can sit right here and then he can be seen in the stream at all times. And then I can keep an eye on him. Yeah, probably. Sonny can take part when he's 5. He's a good boy. He's the goodest boy. I haven't even checked to see if like anybody's watching on YouTube. Okay. Sorry. I have a few video games. I have to play this game. Stop distracting me. I'm not live on YouTube? I am. I can see it. Right there. Nobody watching me on YouTube, but it's there. You have to go to YouTube here, and then it's under live. Interesting. You might be right. I mean, but it says it's recording. Where is the live? That's interesting. I guess we'll find out if we do or don't. Huh. Well, that sucked. That's ridiculous. See, this is what I mean about YouTube just being... I mean... So just like nobody can tell that when it's live, we're welcome to live chat, remember the privacy guard. every time I try to stream from there, it just seems like we're either streaming or we're not streaming. Skip ahead to the live. I mean, do I have to share it? I bet that's, I mean, that's weird. Okay, so maybe that's what you have to do. You have to go to, like, live. Okay, so maybe that's what you have to do. Interesting. Is there a live? I guess I have to go check to see if I go like this, and do I go live? Wow. Yeah, no, it's just like not broadcasting. I'll have to look what that is later. That's unfortunate. Why can they not get it right? With Twitch, easy. Easy every time. That's weird. Whoops, I'm dying. We're out of here. Why didn't nobody tell me? Oh no, oh no, oh no. This is what happens every time we come play WoW on stream. Oh no. I blame you, Gerb. Alright, I don't even know. With the heads of head Crimson, I don't even want to go kill this guy. Bitcoin's almost back to 100K. Let's wreck that so we don't get clobbered. Up here? A little bit. Ooh. Like, this guy's a pain in the ass to kill. Kind of wanted to plan what I want to try to get done tomorrow. Oh no, come this way. Come here.
Need more rage.
Maybe we kill this guy for sure, because like I'm just gonna keep getting him back. Let's try to pull you back at least. No.
I need to get closer.
I'm gonna pause the desktop audio real quick. I'm gonna try to listen to what the stream sounds like. Hello, hello. Test, test. See if I can hear. Whoops. If I let some of the desktop audio back on. Hello, hello. Can you hear me over the music? Oh, man, that's really hard to tell. Well, I guess we'll just keep going.
Far away.
Back in here.
Need more rage.
I'm just gonna kill all these guys. All these guys gotta die. How am I supposed to kill all these guys? This is ridiculous. Come over here. Have a cloak. What's my current cloak do? 13, I guess.
Need more rage. Not enough rage. That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage.
Which one are you guys both stand on top of me? Okay, at least one of you guys goes away. Come here. I just want to do this one quest, and I'll be good for the night. here. The dudes in here. Like, really? Why you guys gotta be such dicks? I gotta kill all of these guys.
Not enough rage. More rage. Not enough rage.
Gonna kill me. See, it's like this part is impossible. Because I have to spawn all the way inside that thing now, and they're just gonna be respawned by them. Ay, 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 even for level 16. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna cancel because I'm not gonna get all the way back in there. I'll probably end up getting there, dying again, and then being like, this is the dumbest quest ever, and never come back to it. It'll probably be the one quest I never do. Yep, see, everybody's respawned, and I've got to go all the way back in this place and then try to regain. Everybody's already respawned. Like, what's the point? I can't kill these guys. I mean, I guess this one guy died, maybe? They're gonna respawn before I even have time. Like, you can't kill that guy. Can you come here really quick, bro? See? Done. I'm done.
Need more rage. Not enough rage. More rage. Not enough rage. Ability isn't ready yet.
Dead. Yep, I'm done. That's gonna be it for tonight, folks. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys coming to the stream. I'm gonna go hang out with the family. Enjoy tomorrow. You guys have a great night. We love you all. Peace out, guys.